BC. What's up, guys? I'm back to do a video for Jonas, Sublime Media, 1,000 Threads. I remember Jonas when he was doing his videos. He was doing it on prog and Swedish jazz. Man, he has a great collection, man. I always commented on his videos. He always found some really great stuff. And then the stuff you found like Vertigo, Black Sabbath, a lot of that stuff. He's always had some great stuff. And then he does stuff on gear. He breaks down all the gear as far as his new setup, what cartridge he used, and which one was a good recommendation. But I'm here for Jonas for the thousand thread rare records. I'm gonna show some of my rare pieces that I have in my collection. I'm gonna start off with this one I found in Milwaukee last year. It was a Krautrock masterpiece cluster. Sorry about the glare. I'm gonna take it out of This one's on Brain. I found this for like 40 bucks up in Milwaukee. And the reason it was 40 bucks was this. Like it had water damage. Whoever had it had water damage, and it peeled, and somebody just colored in with black marker. But the record's on Brain. It's in really mint condition. So this one I know goes for a lot. Most of that Krautrock stuff is like well sought after today. So that's one. I've been into that. I'm still going to be working on that video. That's going to be a long video when I go through my Krautrock collection. You know, a Kraftwerk can, Amandul, stuff like that. Then I got another one picked up at Dusty Grooves. It was a couple of years ago. George Ben from 1972. This is actually a Japanese press on Philips, which is really good. George Ben is awesome. He's definitely a force in the Tropicalia and the Brazilian movement down there. I'm still after that Forte Bruta that James Buttery has showed in his Sublime Media video he did the other day, which he had a great collection. Then I have another one, which is this was real funny. This is a funny one here. I went to Logan Hardware. This is before this is when they moved to their new location in Logan Square. They was further east, so I went up in there just doing some digging, and I found this for $5. This is the Smiths Sweet Tender Hooligan. This was recorded. Most of these B-sides, I keep my head in. Work is a 4-letter word, and what in the word. This stuff was recorded from 85 to 87. It wasn't released till 95. This is like a rare piece. Right now, this one still goes for almost 200 bucks. And it's funny, I only paid a few bucks for it, and it was like near mint. It's a 12-inch, and that goes with my Smiths. I have like a decent amount of Swift 12 inches. I'm just going through most of before I get to my jazz, I'm going through all my other stuff that I had like some really rare ones. Here's another rare one. Take this out of let me take this out of it because I got that bad glare, you know. UK XTC, none such. This one I believe is 92. Yeah, this one has the Ballad of Peter Pumpkinhead. I actually like XTC, they're pretty cool. But yeah, I found this. I paid 40 bucks for this. This record was still going for over 100 bucks back then. It still goes for a pretty nice amount. It's a double LP, UK press. Then I'm going to show another one this was one that Mr. Hall of Fame showed. I remember picking this up. This is an original Melancholy. I remember picking this up in Evanston for 40 bucks, and I bought a Jimi Hendrix single Fire. It was a reissue. The cool thing about this one, because this is part of that numbers edition, but it's not numbered. There's like a blank. If you look there, it's blank, so it's unnumbered. So I know these go for a lot. I talked to a guy that used to collect a lot of the. He's like a hard record collector. But this is definitely a rare piece in my collection. I know this one still goes. You know, it's funny, they reissued this. This one still, the price never really dropped. It's still over, of course, like 200 bucks. And you know, the gatefold. Everybody's familiar with this one. And then I got another one. I know this one still goes for a lot too. This was after Adore. Adore's been reissued. This one hasn't. This one's Smashing Pumpkins. This is the Machine of the Machines of God. I bought this originally in 2000 when this first came out. This one's so cool. It has like a little booklet. If you open it up, there's like a little booklet inside here. Double LP. This is real cool. Actually, the package on this one rivals that Melancholy Infinite Sadness. And this is actually a double LP also. Now to the jazz. My early jazz stuff. This is a killer. This one right here is Bud Powell, the amazing Bud Powell. I was searching high and low for this one. Lexington on one side, 47 West 63rd. So this one's like a 1957 press. The originals were like 1955. This has the flat edge, no R, and no ink. This is really early. These still go for a lot. The only thing, it had a cut corner. I remember picking this up at Reckless Records. I believe I paid 50 bucks for this one, if I remember. It wasn't that much. But when I saw it, I had to get it. I'm a big Bud Powell fan. I like Bud Powell. He played with tons of people. He was almost like the Jimi Hendrix of the piano, man. This guy was very ambidextrous. He was good. Then I got one more Miles Davis, Blue Note. This one's 1502. The other one was 1504. This one is a beauty. I got this at Permanent Records before they went out of business. Got this for a really good price. Take this out of the shrink. Show you how great this one is. No splits. This is a flip side just like the other one. It has Lexington on one side and 47 West 63rd. I think those are just as rare as the ones that have Lexington on both sides, because the splits they didn't make that many of those splits. And then this one here, it doesn't even have the name of the artist. So this is like the original. That's the way that Blue Note was doing back in the 50s. They didn't put the name of the artist on the side of the jackets. So this one's really minty, man. Really nice. I play this one all the time. I love this record. It's a great record. And then take it out of the thing so you can see what I'm talking about. 767 Lexington. I don't know if you can see it real close up, my glare. And then the other side is 47 West. I don't know if you're able to see that really that good. But this was minty, no scratches. I play this, it plays straight through. Now for some avant-garde. Don Cherry. Rare piece. This one, I remember Teddy showed the Italian press, which goes for 84 bucks. I was doing some online buying. This was last year, and I lucked up and found one for 50 bucks because it didn't have the Obi, but it's near mint. This one is Blue Lake. This is a killer. This is Don Cherry at his best. This dude was killing it, man. This is when he got over, he went overseas to the Middle East. He was doing shows over there. And I wish I had that Obi, but man, this thing is so clean. It's a gatefold. Gatefolds in Japanese. 1974. Blue Lake. You can go ahead and check a lot of that stuff out. They actually have the live concert on YouTube. Just type in Blue Lake, Don Cherry. This is some serious playing, how he merged the avant-garde jazz into the free with the Middle Eastern sound. This guy was a mover, man. This guy moves it. His abilities, just from playing with Ornette Coleman, and he just went on his own to really stretch out. The guy is heralded overseas. He's really well known from his ability. And then I got some Blue Notes. Speak No Evil. Original stereo. which I always say this is Wayne Shorter's best. You know, I don't care how you know, that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people like Juju. Juju is one of my favorites also, but Speak No Evil is the one that's in my top 10. One of the greatest jazz albums ever made. You know, with this one, they had like Freddie Hubbard, Ron Carter, Herbie Hancock, Elvin Jones. This is a monster, man. This dude is playing. Still around today. Him and Sonny were like the only ones that are left. And then one of my other ones, prized possession I picked up. And take this out of the shrink. This is a nice minty one too. It's a Blue Note. Dexter's Calling. Mono. It's original early 60s. New York, USA. This one's so good. I love the jacket. It's so clean. No splits. Like even the Wayne Shorter, no splits, man. This was so well taken care of. But Dexter's Calling. That's with the Kenny Drew, Paul Chambers, and Philly Joe Jones. It's a classic session. And on to some more avant-garde. I actually have Out There. This is Eric Dolphy. Out There. This is a must from his, his collection. He always had his plan is also, he influenced a lot. Definitely on the New Jazz, which is a subsidiary of Prestige, the New Jazz label. Picked this up last year. It's one of my rarest pieces in my collection. On the New Jazz label. It's a great copy. It's clean too. Real clean. They always look at that if you want to get a close-up of how it looks. That's how they look, the New Jazz Out There. Yeah. Eric Dolphy's one a great player. And then another guy that used to play with him, which they worked together a couple of albums, what they well known. Here's another one I found up in Milwaukee for 40 bucks. This is a killer. Mal Waldron. He's one of the piano players I've been getting into. Him and Bill Evans I've been really heavily into listening to. But Mal Waldron is a monster. I've been listening to him a lot, but this is an original on the New Jazz label. On the New Jazz, 1958. This one actually has a couple of players, Addison Farmer and Kenny Dennis. This is like a trio setting. Mal pretty much controls this whole thing. He's like the conductor. Another Mal Waldron, which is a rare one. Got this about a couple of years ago at a record show. This guy had a heavy metal. I think I've told that story. He had a heavy metal table, and I was asking him how much for this one. I looked at the label. I already knew that this was like rare. But the guy told me, oh, 15 bucks. Just give me $15 for it. He said, oh, I got a couple of jazz things. Check it out. So I did. I checked it out, and I picked this up. And this one goes for almost 200, 300 bucks. This one also is on the New Jazz label also. I ain't going to take it out of there. But, yeah, this is Eric Dolphy's on this one, too. The song that's cold on here is, Warm Canto is Cold. That's definitely one you need to check out. Yeah, Mal Waldron. This one's pretty good. No splits either. New Jazz label. Featuring the great Booker Urban. Definitely need to get some Booker Urban on. But his stuff is really tough to find. I might have to get some of those analog productions. They've been doing it really good. Like the Freedom Book and stuff like that. Another Mal Waldron. Super rare. With the Quest. This one is probably right up there with the Quest. This is him on electric, because everything there is acoustic. This is electric. This is a rare one. Sucker Funk showed this. This one actually has the Obi. This record is super rare. This is one of his best playing, The Call. This is an original Japanese press with the Obi and insert. This record goes right now, probably, this is one of the rare jazz records. This right now, I think they're selling it for like $300-400. I didn't pay that much for that. I paid 50 bucks. And when I ordered it, I didn't think nothing of it. The guy said, there's a little ding at the top of it, like a little bend. And if you look at it, it's a little ding right up in here. But the record is near mint. But this is, yeah, the call. One of his best playing. That's something you need to check out. Check out his stuff online. Mount Waldron. And then my final two is a piano player that everybody knows. Found this one for 40 bucks. Riverside label. This was recorded 10 days before the death of Scott LaFaro. Yes, this is, to me, his best album. I love this record a lot. That glorious step is so cold. But this is Bill Evans, Sunday at the Village Vanguard. They just reissued this on the MoFi. They grabbed this on the MoFi. I mean, it came out on MoFi. I remember it came out, it was like a half step. And it went really fast. And you would think of, since that reissued, this one would still be low. This one still goes for a lot. This is a great piece to have. Yeah, Riverside. Then I got one more. Bill Evans. This is where I started here. Of course, everybody knows this one. This was an original. They did have a lot of second presses. This is original with the glossy cover. Portraits of Jazz. This is a mono, Riverside. It's a classic album. And Jonas, I like how you do that. That was pretty cool. That's cool. Jonas, congratulations on 1,000 subscribers, man. You deserve it, man. Peace out, man. This is Bill. Have a good one, guys.